Women's Day to all the wonderful ladies here. At Wipro, we break the bias, we build bold tomorrow, and we promote equality. And we have 36% of women employees working with us. All of us together will make a difference. Today, we are delighted to share important updates on Wipro's exclusive Velocity program. I am very curious. Hope you are all excited to know more. With me, I have my colleagues Najib and Anurag on call. Without taking much time, I would request Najib to take over the session.
Thank you, Naveen, and thank you all for joining in. I know it's going to be your hectic schedule since you all have examinations running, and thank you for taking time out and joining us, for this quick session. The agenda for this call was to, just give you a, run through about what exactly is Velocity program and what's in for you. And I also have my colleague Rana with me. We will quickly run you through what are the benefits of joining the Velocity program, and we'll try to take up your questions at the end of the session. Now, just to give you a glimpse, what is Velocity? Velocity is a training program specifically for elite students, right? All who've done well in AMCAT test will go through a training program where you will be certified and trained into certain skill set. Now, in case if you clear the certification, you will be upgraded to a turbo program, turbo upgrade, which is for a higher package. And now this is purely on your AMCAT examination test scores. We've shortlisted you, and then you will be going through this training program for certain months. Moving ahead, Naveen, next slide. Now, how are you eligible? Yes, as I said, all this is purely depending on your performance in AMCAT. Now, before you did your interviews, you ran through an AMCAT test, right? So depending on your scores, the top performers are shortlisted for Velocity program. Now, what's in for you? Rana, would you like to take it ahead from here? Hello.
So I believe means it is already communicated.
Yeah.
I believe it is the Velocity is just an opportunity just for you in terms of getting into the next level of competency. So ideally speaking means what does it means? You already have a holding an elite offer. And what we decided just to give you a kind of an opportunity to get into a learning phase and get the learning done through our means established partners, learning partners. And this learning is not just an exams or any other things. It is just simple things means get into a absolute engineering learning with a good amount of experiments and the projects assessment, everything included together. And this will give you an opportunity to get into a higher level of engineering capability. And if you attain this engineering capability, it means the benefit for you is basically to get into a turbo upgrade. So whoever is holding the elite offer at this moment of time, 3.5 lakhs, after this completion of this, it will be certified as a Velocity certified people, and you will immediately tag to the turbo grade, which is 6.5 lakhs per annum, which ultimately includes that 5.5 lakhs as a salary, and then 1 lakh is a bonus for this first year. Okay, and the training and certification is fully sponsored by Wipro over here. When you join, after the join, the certification will be offered to you. Okay. So this is all the benefit that you are getting out of this. So first of all, first thing is first, your dedication, your involvement is very much required in terms of getting it involved. Now, when you go to the program overview, the program is constructed across the 3 different streams: full stack community, cloud community, and Salesforce community. These are all very, very, what I say that very high expected and high turnaround field at this moment of time in the current engineering world. When you talk about the full stack community, it comprises means Java full stack, .NET full stack, SDET, MERN, and Mean. And one thing is that very important. These are the very, very basic and fundamental stuff that what we are focusing on, because anything more than that means when you are going to AI/ML, when you are going to the cloud, when you're going to means big data, when you are going to any other area, unless and until you are up to the mark on any of these areas, especially the Java, .NET, and SDET, those are the 3 communities, is very hard to get into this. Just don't get into that you are learning the Java. Just don't get into that you are learning the .NET. that entire full stack community is comprised with multiple things. So like a Java full stack is already having some UI essentials embedded into that. .NET also is having a UI essentials as a part of your curriculum. Both the program also does have certain things in the DevOps and the CI/CD models, how it works. Those are the things. SDET, when you talk about SDET, is seriously not a testing. Don't just get diluted over the SDET as a testing. It's the absolute engineering of means engineering part of it, where basically the release management, where the means integrations, automations, it's absolutely like automation, which is absolutely embedded into that. This is the program through which you are getting into a big means learning of the CI/CD and the DevOps area. How this process can be automated, what kind of a testing actually when you are doing, functional understanding of the entire program, everything is covered over here. Mud and Mean, these are very usability program. When as a customer, when you go and visit any customer, any website or any other applications or any other means what I say that means any web page, I would like to always see that means how it will be interactive to us. That interactiveness only will come as a right set of designing of the usability. That usability design at the back end actually is a very hot in this current market. Both Angular and both React. Angular is more popular. React is also similarly popular, but React is basically being used in a specific area. Angular is more number of people are using because of the easiness of that. So both the tools are very important. It also covers certain degree of Java scripts and all the other things. It also covers certain portions of these agile DevOps and all those kind of areas. So a net the entire program is scheduled and entire program is designed in such a way it will give you a very good understanding about the full stack community. And each and every five tracks are similarly equally important. Cloud community is GCP, AWS, Azure. Believe me, means all these tracks, each and every this track are having a basic skills embedded into that. Whoever is basically going with the Java, AWS, GCP and AWS, they also have to go through the Java as a one of the very basic skills training. 50% of this program is very much covered with Java. Azure also the similar way, almost 50% are training covered with the .NET. So unless and until you know this, you are not getting into that cloud. And the rest of the cloud is more like an enablement. Rest of the clouds are more likely means how to configure. These are the things which is going to be learned over this cloud community. And this is the community which is coming up for the development in the cloud environment, not in the infrastructure services area. So these are very important. The code competency is most important part. So full stack community can easily think about that. Once they are expertise on that, they also can even actually switch over there. Even cloud community also can contribute actually in the full stack community area in terms of coding. So both are community very closely embedded into that. Salesforce is a very packaging area, which is providing the data management, data analysis, and then presentations, everything into that. The applications building through the Salesforce is the most priority things that we are going to cover, and how to do the app with the Salesforce. That is very important for us, and that will be covered over there. It's a web component is also included into that. 5 partners are currently identified for this. StackRoot, Great Learning, and Simply Learn. These are the 3 partners will be involved in the full stack community. StackRoot, Great Learning, and RPS are involved in the cloud community. And Salesforce Salesforce only will be supported by Manipal Group because there's a specialist into this area. Let's move Naveen into the next one. Okay, important timelines and the wrap up under the new model. So when you talk about the timeline, there are a few timelines are already mentioned, but I would suggest you not to look into the specific dates because date actually some changes happening based on the way means it is moving. Now we mentioned that 7th March is our introduction and orientations with the training partners and based on the allocations that basically is going to be happen sometimes in the next week. Okay, at this moment of time, currently our orientation is happening with the Wipro to you on 8th. Okay. So internship students for the training, internship identifications is already there. Survey link is already open for you, which is open till tomorrow. I would expect means all of you to participate in the survey and provide your preferences. And I would suggest you to mention one thing when you give the preferences of this technology, ensure that each and every preferences you are giving the individual technologies. Okay, don't give any single technology for all 3 preferences. In that case, we will decide means where you to go. We can even give you something else, not even actually in your preferences. So please make sure 3 different preferences based on preferences 1, preference 2, and preference 3 will be given over there. And share the preferences, share all the other details. That is very important. 14th March, I think it is becoming 17th March when the internship offer will be gone to you, and you have to basically go ahead and that. We are working with the partners. After this survey, the entire mapping of the partners will be done. We will make sure that by next week, by early next week, we will get the complete information from us, which track and which partner you will be mapped to. Out of these 3 preferences, what you are going to select, one of the preferences will be mapped to you. Again, I'm saying out of the 3 preferences, one of the preferences will be mapped to you based on the business needs and based on the current availability of the seats. Okay, so basically that is why I'm saying selecting of the preferences is very important. Let's move on. Okay, sorry, one more thing is there, the onboarding. Onboarding, we are preferring to have it from the June 2022. Okay, why it is June? With June onwards, it will be happen in the staggered manner. It will start from the June, it will go to July and August, that is the time frame, and it all based on means how fast and how focused you are contributing in your training or in your learning, and how fast you are closing this one. So all the people who are in the internship, I want to reiterate that the people who are selecting the internship, they will be offered a high number of hours batches. It means they will be offered a 5 hours batches per day. It means to say that they probably will be able to close the training faster and then join Wipro faster. The people who are not selecting the internship, I believe they are already part of some other internship with some other organizations or some other area. These people will be tagged to the 3 hours batch, and these batch probably will also be closed probably in a 3 to 4 weeks additional time that you might need. Okay, but at the end of the day, all of you people who are closing and who are successfully completing this assessment will be offered the upgrade offer. Will be offered by Wipro the upgrade offer. Okay. In addition to that, I just wanted to call it out. All of you are already holding the elite offer to you. So if anybody is not going through this one, anybody wants to have a disruptions, they can continue in the elite offer. So go to the next slides. I will make sure that means all those things will be recovered again. Yep, go to the next slide, Naveen. Go back, Naveen. Go back to the previous slides on the last slide. Okay, yeah. So I think this is already covered, but I just want to reiterate, there is no fees that you need to pay. Wipro is going to sponsor this. Okay, the internship and training, it is a part of the survey. Please respond to the survey to understand whether you are part of the internship or not. Okay, and another thing is that the turbo offer will be applicable for those people who are successfully completing this velocity program. In any reasons, if you are not able to complete this one, due to whatsoever reason you are not able to complete this turbo assessment, this velocity program, the elite offer currently whatever holding will remain good, and you can still join Wipro with your elite offer. Let's move on. Okay, Naveen, can you put some FAQs? Okay, so let's have some FAQs. What is velocity? So I believe that it is already communicated to you that velocity is a kind of a unique program, means, and Taji probably have already briefed you on that. How do I become the eligible? This eligibility is completely based on the assessment conducted by Wipro as a part of this national level talent hunt. And based on that performance, basically you have been identified and you have been shortlisted for this program. Okay, what is in it for me? And I believe it's already discussed about this one. So nothing addition to that. So let's move to the next page. When will the training start? That training is targeted to start from the 3rd week of March, and it will be happening in the staggered manner. So it will be starting from the 3rd week of March, but it will probably span between 3rd and 4th week of March. So you have to wait, please wait. Once the mapping is completed and we share with the partner will communicate to you in terms of the training plan and every other stuff. It will be happening probably sometime in the beginning of the next week. What will be the process of information to the training plan? And as I mentioned that once the partner mapping is done and we share this list, partner will be in touch with you and they will basically provide you the entire schedule. They will also initiate an orientation plan with you to brief you about their overall training plan, timing, and every other stuff. Is it mandatory to accept the elite offer? Yes, it is mandatory to accept the elite offer, means to engage into the velocity program. Move ahead. Okay, how much do you need? You need not to pay anything because it is a completely Wipro sponsored. Is it mandatory to go through the velocity? It is mandatory to go through the velocity upgrade program. It is you definitely have a right to say yes or no. Okay, if you want to say yes, means yes, definitely you are a part of that. And on completion of the successful completion of this program, you will be offered the turbo upgrade. If you are not part of this, if you are not accepting this, if you still want to stick to the elite, you are most welcome to join Wipro as an elite, as a elite person. Having said that, means there are some people who are already having the turbo offer, who are already in the turbo batch. They also have got the velocity training request. I would say that means for them there is no upgrade in terms of salary, but obviously means this group of the people, these turbo people, they are currently being offered of completely Wipro sponsored training on the specific engineering area. Okay, I already have a certification in the skills allotted to me. I think we already appreciate that your investment and you already have some certification program. But as I mentioned that these programs are already having a multiple different curriculum associated to that. It not necessarily Java means it's only Java. It not necessarily MERD means only MERD. It not necessarily cloud means only cloud. It has a lots of associated things actually to learn. And we want to have a day one productivity from this group of the people. So we have come back actually with a curriculum which is going to give you a complete 360-degree view about that entire programming area and programming program engineering area. So definitely means this program is a very different. So we definitely suggest you to join and then it's completed. Can I start the velocity training program once I join Wipro? If you are no, because this is mainly for the people who are the freshers who are yet to join Wipro. We want to run it actually a pre-joining offer. Next. Okay. What is a certification clearance criteria? Technically speaking, the entire velocity program is broken down into multiple modules in the curriculum. Every module will be associated having an assessment, and as well as the assessment will have a MCQs, quizzes, and the codings. Okay, and at the end of the training or at the end of the learning program, you will have a capstone project submission, which is a kind of a master project that you have to work and you have to submit it. And the overall outcome is basically going to be deciding is your performance. In the relevant line, we have a next question that what is the overall mode of assessment clearance? As I mentioned that every module will have an assessment through the MCQs and quizzes and some coding. So you have to definitely work on that and you have to basically submit those. At the same time, at the end of the program means you have a capstone project to be submitted. Each and every assessment and each and every coding that you are submitting, you will get additional attempts. In case if you miss it out, or in case if you want to improve yourself, definitely you will get an additional attempt. Capstone projects also you will get a feedback, and based on the feedback you have an options to work out, and you have to submit once again with the improved option, improved project options. Okay, net everything will be covered and everything will have an weightage. And once you are joining actually the orientation of the partner, that point of time, the entire weightage actually will be talked to you. Two other factors which are driving this entire performance is your attendance in the program. That is very important, because this program is drafted and designed in such a way that it will go and give us a very much productive engineering skills. So the performance also depends on your attendance. Even the performance depends on the timely submissions of these assignments. So please keep this in mind. Your effort is very important. When we ensure that means through our partners, all support will be provided to you. Okay. What happens if I not clear the certification program? I don't think that our expectation is any one of you will be in this space. We want 100% the successful. And because of that, the partner also is providing you the dedicated faculty, dedicated mentor. Anything you missed out, anything doubt clearance you want, everything will be supported by them. And we are also there. So it's a kind of a joint program for both of us. So obviously means the expectation is 100% certifications. Move next. How many hours do I need to spend? Again, as I'm mentioning, there are two parts of it. One is who are the part of the internship batch. They will be spending 5 hours per day. They will be spending 5 hours per day because the internship is happening through this Velocity program. There is no additional internship work. I want to make it very clear. It only is happening through the Velocity program because the Velocity is defined in such a way it will give you the learning, assessment, understanding, coding, and then the project submissions, everything together. So it is going to cover everything what you are requiring for the internship. So you have to spend 5 hours per day. Whoever not part of the means internship, who probably are doing the internship outside or any other things, for them it is a 3 hours per day. So there are two different set of batches. How flexible is the Velocity program training schedules? I would suggest means that training schedules will be given by the partners and it will be spanned over the day. Okay, most of the cases we are preferring this training will be happening in the second half, so that first half, if you have any work with the colleges or universities, you can finish it off. Okay. In terms of if you are missing some classes due to some of your other activities like exams or anything, nothing to worry about. All those live sessions will be recorded for your future references. In addition to that, get some clarifications. On your request, the partner will obviously initiate some of the doubt clearing sessions and additional grooming plan for you. Being a non-CS background, will I help on the learning from the basics of the programs? Yes, the program is completely designed along with our practices and partner in such a way that means it will take care from the basics till our engineering level. So no worry about that, means this program will provide you a lot of guidance. Next. Are there any tests then Velocity other certification for Turbo offer? No. Once you successfully complete this Velocity program, that is well enough to get the Turbo offer. But having said that, means after you join Wipro, then only you will be awarded with the certification. So for certification, definitely this is one of the criteria. When shall I get the certificate after completing? As I mentioned, after successful completions of this program and join Wipro. When will I be onboarded? Your onboarding is expected to start from the Q2 onwards, previously mentioned from June onwards. Okay, let's move to the next one. Okay, any service agreement? Yes, the service agreement is on 1 year, holds good for the Turbo as well. And we'll start from the date of the joining. Post joining Wipro, will I be assigned to the project to the match to the training and the certification? Yes, that is what exactly our objective is, to provide you and map you to certain project where your skills will be respected and you will definitely get an offer to work on that. Can I change for a request of the skills and training partner allotted to me? I fear that means we encourage that way. That is why the survey is initiated, and as we clearly mentioned, 3 of preferences is given to you. Based on your 3 preferences, 1 of them will be tagged to you. Okay, so please stick to that and then please move forward. Is it mandatory to complete the pre-joining program to register the Velocity? Pre-joining program is designed just to provide you some basic skills understanding of the area like a Java, .NET, Mean, Merge. Those are the areas. It's a very standard applications or the program for us offered by Wipro for the freshers team to join and then have it some kind of a grooming done. but that does not necessarily means it is a joining criteria for Velocity. Once you are in the Velocity, you just focus on the Velocity. PJP may not be applicable, but the PJP is definitely, we prefer you to do that. So that means you can get some technology basics before you join PJP Velocity. Yeah, move on. Naveen, that's all from my side.
Thank you, Rana.
Thank you,
We had
Rana.
that,
Yeah.
So one more very important thing is, as
If there is
Rana
any specific
suggested,
questions outside these FAQs, then
we can,
probably Najib, we can just call it out.
yeah. One important thing I just like to highlight is we've already rolled out a survey for registration, and we've also put out, to choose your preference in the skill set. Please do submit your responses by end of tomorrow, because tomorrow is the last day to respond to that. Naveen, we can go ahead with the questions. Any specific questions on the Q&A?
yes, we have a first question. Do we receive different registration link for Velocity registration or just the survey email?
It is going to be the same. We've rolled out through Superset. You might have received the link through Superset. It's going to be the same. It's a registration come, preference. You can choose your preference on the same survey.
So what is the benefit of doing internship?
Ranam, would you like to take that question?
Sorry, I put it on mute. Yeah. Okay. So what is the benefit of doing the internship?
Yeah.
So technically speaking, internship is one of the probably the compulsory actions that you have to perform as a part of the 8th semester of your college. Now, if the question is what is the benefit of doing the internship through the Velocity, is basically will provide you the learning, and the way it is drafted, that means you are participating 5 hours per day for this and completing the benefits together. There is no additional work you have to do for the internship other than the Velocity program. That's exactly what is the benefit, because you are not spending an additional time for that. You can cover it actually through the Velocity itself.
The next question is, I'm currently doing internship with another company. Can I also do the internship with Wipro because I want to get learning from Velocity program?
You can still join the Velocity program as a training program. You not necessarily actually come out actually of the training of the internship what you are doing already with the other organization or somewhere else, because that probably does not, because you have already probably passed some few weeks and it doesn't make sense. So you can join the non-internship batches.
The next question is, I have filled wrong skill preference in Velocity registration link. I want to change the skill preference. How can I do that?
Naveen, can you repeat it?
I have filled the wrong skill preference in Velocity registration, but I want to change the skill preference. How can we do that?
Look, this I believe that means you definitely have gone through this one before you select your preferences. But if you want to change it, which we do not prefer, as I mentioned very clearly, you can still drop a mail to Velocity help desk. We'll just have a look into that.
Okay, next question we are having is, after completing the internship, does we onboarded as trainee or as a full-time employee?
Full-time employee. Once they complete internship, they'll be onboarded as full-time employee, and if they clear the certification, they'll join as a turbo, candidate with a higher package.
Okay. Next question we are having is, candidates not accepted the Wipro's offer initially, and the link is expired to accept it, and they are requesting to re-trigger the offer letter. Is there any chance for it?
Yes, we can definitely look at that. You can write an email to manager.campus with your details, that is your Superset ID and other details. We will re-trigger the offer letter again.
So few students have, by mistake, they've updated as not interested for survey, but they are now interested to do the internship as well. What can they do?
They can write an email to velocity.helpdesk with their interest, and we will look into it and take it ahead.
Okay. The next question we are having is, can 3 months duration internship be extended to 4 months or further so that it can be considered as 8 SEM full-time project?
It can be, again, it depends on the business requirement. Currently, we are looking at 3 months internship program, the whole training program. But definitely, if there is any chances of increasing the time period, we will look into it.
And the last question is there phase 3 or the list 3 of velocity?
As of now, no, there's no plan as such. Yeah, so I think this is the phase 2 which we have launched.
Thanks, Rana and Najib. Looks like we answered most of the questions which are common. The rest of them are repetitive question. Through FAQ, we have covered all the questions, I believe.
We will anyway share this
I think
FAQs
thanks to the students even, and we expect them to close their survey as soon as possible, so that means our training also can be planned faster.
Thanks to all the students, hoping you're ready to add velocity to your career. Thanks to all leaders from Wipro and my team for joining the call. Thanks again. Have a great evening ahead. Wish to see you soon at Wipro.
Sure.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Naveen. Thank you, Rana. Thank you all. Take care. Bye-bye.